The latest in the political culture wars over legislation directly targeting transgender families. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas is coming under fire after sending a letter to the Department of Family and Protective Services referring to gender-affirming care, even non-surgical, as abusive procedures that must be investigated. ABC's Mireya Villarreal sits down with the families who are now living in limbo.
Kimberly Shapley is packing to move again.
Where are you going?
I don't know. States that used to be thought of as safe for trans families to go to are no longer safe.
I was never a boy. I was always a girl. I was born a girl. I'm not the one who transitioned. It was the people around me who needed to change.
11-year-old Esther Shapley, who goes by Kai, was assigned male at birth. It's hard to know just how many people in the U.S. identify the way Kai does. Some estimates show 1.4 million people in the U.S. identify as transgender. That is, identifying as a gender different from what they were anatomically assigned at birth. Her mother refuses to talk about her transition because she's worried the state will take away her children. Governor Greg Abbott sent this letter to the Department of Family and Protective Services. It refers to gender-affirming care, even non-surgical, as a sex change procedure and instructs the agency to promptly investigate any reported instances of these abusive procedures. And her mother admits early in her daughter's journey, her faith led her to believe Kai could be changed.
At the time, I would imagine you were extremely conservative?
Ultra-conservative, Tea Partier, full-time serving in the ministry.
What made it all change? Because obviously you tried to change her.
Yes. She started consistently praying to be with Jesus and never come back because she wanted to live with Jesus forever as a girl instead of here as a boy. And those prayers reminded me of what I had read about the risk of suicide attempts and successful suicide attempts of transgender kids that aren't supported.
Based on a study from 2019, the Williams Institute estimates that nearly 82% of transgender individuals have considered suicide, and that 40% have attempted suicide, with rates being the highest among transgender youth. The very real mental struggle intensified by recent actions from lawmakers restricting transgender rights.
Are you opposed to transgender people selecting which bathroom they use, or is it about the way the government's gone about doing this?
Well, actually, it's both.
Texas legislators have been attacking me since pre-K. I am in 4th grade now.
The number of proposed anti-trans laws are on the rise. 50 bills seeking to ban transgender youth from sports that don't align with the gender they were assigned at birth. 29 looking to ban gender-affirming medical care for transgender youth. And at least 27 bathroom bills restricting access to facilities based on how one identifies. Here in Texas, 40 bills were filed in the last legislative session that specifically targeted the transgender community.
After doing research, I came to understand that gender affirmation surgery isn't done on minors, and that there is a whole array of medical options available for transgender youth.
Amber Briggle has a 14-year-old transgender son. She testified last year against a proposed bill that would go after parents, doctors, and medical facilities who provide gender-affirming care to transgender minors.
Taking that support away from him, or worse, taking him away from his family, because we broke the law to provide that support, will have devastating and heartbreaking consequences.
Almost all of the Texas anti-trans bills filed in 2021 died, but celebration was short-lived.
Today, Governor Greg Abbott sent a letter to the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services directing the agency to look into transgender care as child abuse.
It is part of a larger pattern of emergency political culture wars over legislation across various states on the topic of transgender youth.
This letter having immediate impact on several families.
On Tuesday, Paxton issued his opinion. It's not the law, just the opinion. On Wednesday, Abbott issued his directive. And on Thursday, someone called CPS and reported us. And it was just a few days later when we had the caseworker in our home on our couch interrogating my children individually.
It's never before been applied to these gender affirming treatments. But what he essentially did is said that any of these treatments, because they affect the reproductive rights of the child, and reproductive rights are a fundamental right that we have, he wants additional scrutiny to ensure that it is not child abuse.
The Texas Supreme Court reversed the temporary injunction on May 6th that had stopped the state from investigating transgender families. Investigations now able to resume, like the one the Briggles are dealing with. Amber's anger spilling onto social media, responding directly to Attorney General Ken Paxton.
It is wrong to irrevocably change the sex of a child. They're willing to sacrifice these kids at the altar of some political agenda.
Neither Governor Greg Abbott nor Attorney General Ken Paxton responded to our request for comment. In a perfect world, Kimberly would spend her days watching Kai and Caleb fish or play like normal kids. Instead, she lives in fear.
We literally have to run drills at home, what to do if somebody breaks into the house, what to do if somebody gets in the house and kills their mother, what to do if CPS comes to school and takes them from me.
But this is the life that you have right now.
This is the life that every trans kid and their families have right now.
For now, the family says they're living in limbo. They worry it's just a matter of time before the case goes back to court or more anti-trans bills are proposed. And as they plan their next move, Kai is steadfast in her role as an advocate for the trans community.
You're 11 years old. Why would you put yourself in harm's way?
Because people don't deserve what's happening. And I want to make sure that in the future, people will be safe and okay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.